admin login test case with valid inputs and admin login test case with invalid inputs following Cucumber framework. Let us finish up the second scenario, that is employee registration today. After building the employee registration, first we run the suite using the JUnit. Then we run independent test cases using TestNG. Then we build a TestNG suite for executing all Cucumber test cases. The second feature file, employee registration functionality. We have documented the steps for employee registration and we created employee registration tests with the dry run option equal to true. Whatever the missing steps it generated, we have updated into the library. Here we have to write the code for employee registration. For all these steps, already functions are available. For the step, I go to add employee. For the step, I enter first name, I enter last name, I click save button. I should see registered employee in the employee list. Only for these few steps, corresponding code not available. Yesterday we generated the missing steps and today we have to implement the code for that. First I'll write the code for implementing a step. I go to add employee page. So what is the code I have to write for this step? I go to add employee page. For the step, I go to add employee page. Somebody else change the password of that bin. Okay.
Aniket is working, sir.
Okay. I'll reset the database further. Aniket, what is our password?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
QH, sorry,
In
Aniket 1, 2, 3.
In caps, Aniket 1, 2, 3. Explanation @
Shift 1, 2, 3.
User ID is
User ID is same.
A is small, sir.
At first I proceed like this. Somebody else updated this. Done. Okay. Login as administrator. Click on PAM, click on add employee. These are the two steps we have to implement. Click PAM link and then click add employee link. For the step, I go to add employee page. Let us write the code for that. Both are links actually here. Then we have to write the code to enter the user, first name and last name. First name, a last name, the code to click the save button, then we have to build the code to verify the registered employee displayed in the table or not. Just tell me what is the code we have to write here. Before I click save button, I'll capture the employee number. The value property of this element. But the same employee number I want to use in the other method to perform a search. If I declare a variable inside the method, I cannot use in the other method. So at class level, I am declaring one variable here. Because the same employee number I want to use in the other method. I'm reading the value property of the element into the variable emp number. After clicking save button, we have to click on employee list. After clicking employee list, here I have to type the employee ID. So divide out, find element by the ID. Dot send keys. The employee number, whatever already we captured. Whatever the employee number captured, that employee number we are inputting here. Then click the search element. So divide out, find element by the ID. Dot click, search the element. So we enter the employee number, something whatever it may be, click the search button. No, whatever the employee number. That employee number should be visible here. For that, we'll make Selenium to find out this table element. This ID property here. Then find the elements by the tag name TR. All TR elements we are reading. All the TR elements we are reading. Then the TR elements I am storing in a Java list. Say for example, rows. I will read all the TD elements. All TD elements I am taking into another Java list called columns.
If
columns dot get off, it is 0th TD element, next TD element, read the text of the TD element, compare with the employee number you have entered. If these conditions satisfied, just I'm printing here, the employee registered successfully. Then I do not want to continue further iterations, just break. Break the loop, done. Now all the code is implemented. I go to the employee registration test case, make the dry run option equal to false, comma, what are the other options we can use? Majorly plugin. Tags not required here. If really you want to run all of the scenarios, tags not required. Plugin equal to com dot cucumber.listener, extend cucumber formatter, colon, a folder name reports, a file name, say employee result.html. HTML. The employee result.html. Dry run option made as false. Okay. Now let me run the second test case. the employee registration test case. We are running with the JUnit at present. Directly you can click run button or run as JUnit test. It is the second test case, employee registration. 1 second. I updated the password but not made as admin. Okay, one moment. Right. I'm running this test case again. It is employee registration functionality done. It is a JUnit generated report. The employee registration test case is paused. We are also generating the Cucumber extent report. Inside the reports folder, I refresh the employee result.html. The employee result.html. The test case is paused. The same way, any number of test cases implementation would be the same. Hope till this point is clear, right? Now, as of now, we are running these test cases using JUnit. Let me explain how to run the same test cases using TestNG. Before that, let me run these two test cases together with the help of the JUnit. Here I have an option, run configuration. I selected JUnit. What I am trying to explain you now, how to run two test cases together with the help of JUnit. You no need to build a suite in the JUnit. Right click on the one test case, any one test case or the package, whatever. Run as, we have run configuration here. Right click on the JUnit here. Run as a single test. You have to specify the class name. It is your project name. Run as a single test. Which test case class you want to run? Test class. You have to mention. Or, what is this option? Run all test cases in the selected project, the package or source folder. All test cases present inside the package will be executed. I click run button. All are executed. If I want to run with the test.ng, I comment this line. It is admin login test case. And at the time of creating this Maven project, did I associate a test.ng or Cucumber for test.ng? No. Check out in the pym.xml file. Check out in the pym.xml file. I selected JUnit 4 version there. By default, there is 3 version because I used 4 version. Well, test.ng not associated. You please observe test.ng available. Test.ng not associated. Cucumber for test.ng also not associated. Let me associate the test.ng first. Let me add test.ng dependency first. I'll go to the website mbnrepository.com. Here I'll type the test.ng. I type test.ng here. This test.ng version I will take. Copy, paste here. Then also I have to associate Cucumber test.ng. Same 1.2.5 version because Cucumber we have associated Cucumber Java 1.2.5. Selected, copied. Cucumber for test.ng. I saved it. Now I go to my test case. I commented the statement to run with the JUnit. You can remove this, just I have commented. I want to run with the test.ng now. To run a test case class using test.ng, test case class name extends what is the class name here? Abstract test.ng Cucumber test. Abstract test.ng Cucumber test. Only just you have to add this, that's it. A Java class extends abstract test.ng Cucumber test. You want to run a Java class as a Cucumber test using test.ng, this you need to extend. If you want to run using JUnit, this is a command. If you want to run with the test.ng, test case class name extends abstract to Cucumber test.ng test. It is actually available in the Cucumber. Same way, first I'll run this. How to run this? Right click on your test case class, run as. Only one time you need to do the run configuration, only first time, not next time. Run configuration. You want to run as test.ng test, select test.ng, right click, new. You have to specify the class name here. In the package test runners, class name admin login test. The class name is admin login test. Apply, run, run. Now we are running with the test.ng. There are two scenarios, admin login with valid inputs, admin login with invalid inputs. So all executed. It is the results generated by the test-ng. It is test-ng results. The Cucumber extent report generated the results now. This is a Cucumber extent report. Time 8:50:57. Just now it was executed. Same way, I want to run the second test case, employee registration test case using test-ng. What do you want me to do now? First, remove this statement or comment it. Test case class name, extends, abstract test-ng Cucumber test. Right click on your test case class name. Only first time you have to do run configuration, not every time. Class name, employee registration test. Employee registration test. Run this. Now we are running with the test-ng. Executed. And it is a result. Just now it was executed. Employee registration test. So two test cases we have executed using test-ng now. Now the two test cases I want to group in a suite, same concept. At the project level, I am creating a suite file. At project level, I am creating a suite file. RNHRM testsuite.xml. You know this procedure. Sorry. Suite name equal to name of the test suite. RNHRM test suite. A suite will have test cases, tests. The name equal to test case name. Admin login test or admin login test case. Classes, class path. Testers dot admin login test. You no need to do any parameterization because the data available in the feature file itself. Second test case, name equal to the employee registration test. Inside the test, classes. Inside the classes, class path. Class name equal to test runners dot employee registration test. Right. Now I can run the suite directly. Run as testng suite. We are running a testng suite now here. First admin login test case is getting executed. Then employee registration test case will run. Hope you understand the process, right? And automatically the results get updated here. So, 1 second. See admin login test results, employee registration test results. You have the filter option, whatever you want to see, that you can see. Hope you understood the concept, right? Online team, please confirm you understand the Cucumber framework implementation.
Yes,
I have
sir.
implemented 2 test cases. Data driven also I have implemented. For employee registration also you can go for data driven. I hope you understand the concept. Scenario outline, check employee registration with invalid inputs. We have to write the test procedure. Examples, we have to prepare the data table, some sample data. You know how to parameter the data table. Same inside the double quotes, inside the angular brackets, you need to create the placeholder names. The first line in the data container will be considered as placeholder, rest of the lines will be considered as data. In the feature file, the first line below the examples, the very first line below the examples considered as labels called placeholder, parameter names. You can parameter like this. Rest of the lines will be considered as actual data. It's a predefined approach. You need to follow the guidelines given by the Cucumber. It's a predefined program, predefined template as it is, we have to use it. You can able to run the test cases using both JUnit and also testng. Right. So this is all about the frameworks concept. Testng framework we have learned. Modularity framework using testng. Then it is data-driven testing, hybrid and Cucumber. Here, the mostly followed automation frameworks are nowadays two, hybrid and Cucumber. Hybrid framework and Cucumber framework. See here, I demonstrated for RNHRM application. First, you try an RNHRM application. Then, you have access to flights application, right? Flights reservation application. Consider 4 scenarios. New user registration functionality, scenario 1. Login, scenario 2. Booking a flight ticket, scenario 3. Cancellation of flight ticket, scenario 4. For these 4 scenarios, try to implement both hybrid and Cucumber framework. First, you try, practice on RNHRM, whatever I have demonstrated, both hybrid and Cucumber. In order to get your confidence, will I able to independently implement the code or not? We have another application, flights application, you have the access. Consider 4 scenarios. I'll teach the 4 scenarios. For these 4 scenarios, you implement both hybrid and Cucumber framework. Enough. For teaching purpose, I explained on RNHRM. In order to get your confidence, will I able to independently develop the hybrid framework and Cucumber BDD framework? Take 4 scenarios in this flights application. Scenario 1, user registration functionality. Scenario 2, login functionality. You create an account, you can be able to create an account. Scenario 3, booking a flight ticket. If you write the code for this, all components will be covered. Calendar component is covered. Drop-down list component will be covered. The table component will be covered, how to handle the tables. And radio buttons, everything. Click insert order. You please observe it takes some little amount of time to process the request. We have to implement explicit wait condition. Click on this. Whatever the order number generated, read this text and compare with that. You have the options here, print and download also. Then, one more scenario. Previous scenario is checking new ticket functionality, booking a flight ticket functionality. Then, write one more scenario there. Edit and cancellation. That is, if you have time, you can practice this one also, edit. Update something. Updated value displayed or not. Updated value displayed or not. It's fourth scenario. Booking flight ticket functionality scenario 3. Updating flight ticket functionality scenario 4. Deleting the flight ticket functionality alerts scenario 5. For the 5 scenarios, these 5 scenarios, you implement both hybrid framework and Cucumber framework. Okay? Right. So these are the major Selenium topics. From here, next 4-5 sessions, we learn some miscellaneous topics about the Selenium. But till this point only, your major focus. Already I told you, if you're a fresher, up to test ng is enough. If you're an experienced person, you need to have everything. But frameworks is a major concentration in advanced Selenium training. From here, I'll teach you some miscellaneous topics of the Selenium WebDriver. Grid, Selenium Grid. It is used to run your test cases simultaneously on multiple browsers. As of now, we are able to run the test case only on one browser at one time, right? If I want to run the test case on other browsers, say Firefox, what I have to do? I have to go to that launch app method. We have to change 2 lines of code. Remaining, I don't need to touch. System.setProperty, there I have to use Gecko driver and driver equal to new Firefox driver. Next time I want to run my test case on Safari or any other browser, again I have to change the code. Instead, a test shot, I want to run the test case on multiple browsers. At one time, I want to run the test case on multiple browsers. For that, there is a component available in the Selenium called Grid, Selenium Grid. Then, let's say 4 people or 40 people working on one project, where you upload the code finally. Initially, you prepare the code in your laptop or desktop in your workstation. The code is available in your machine. Your code available in your machine. Finally, end of the day, you need to upload the entire code into a cloud repository called GitHub. GitHub. Jenkins is a tool, will pull the code from GitHub, integrate the code, and execute the test case on modified version. So we have to learn majorly here GitHub, Jenkins, and Selenium Grid. Let us learn one by one. Take this Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid.
Sir,
Yes.
can you please repeat username and password to use that flight.qh page?
No, I no need to explain username, madam. What you can do, I mean, okay, URL you wanted? For everybody,
URL I have
for
noted
everyone,
down.
URL I am giving in the chat box. Flights.qatech.com is a URL. I given in the chat box. Flights.qatech.com. Flights.qatech.com. Suhasini, you
Sir.
create your account. You create your username.
Okay.
Whatever the username you created, you can give some dummy contact number. Whatever the username you created, your email ID is nothing but your username.
Sure. Okay, sure. Okay.
For example, let me create an account for some student. Email ID. Abdul. Okay. Okay. I'm giving a temporary password, say for example, demo. I selected something. Click on register. Account registered. Your email ID is nothing but your username. The email ID is your username. The password I have given as demo. You can log in like this. Got it? Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Here we have all these options. Change password and everything. A very simple application, but the 4 scenarios cover all the components. 4 scenarios only, but cover all concepts of the Selenium. I sit with my developer, I given the inputs to my developer, made this application to ensure all concepts of the Selenium is getting covered in these 4 scenarios. Implicitly wait, explicitly wait, handling alerts, everything will come into the picture. And some element will have ID, some element will have same name, some element will have class, some element will not have any property, some element properties will have some, dynamically changing value. Everything is covered in this. And web table concept, I want to click this delete button. You please observe all available under one TD element. If you really write the code for these 4 scenarios, for any scenario you can able to write the code. And actually it is not a link. Now when you try, if you practice on this light application, everything, you get to know everything available in the Selenium. What is the topic? Selenium grid. Take the notes. See, you no need to download anything, you no need to install anything for the Selenium grid. It is a ready-made component available in the Selenium. You no need to download anything, you no need to install anything. Grid comes along with the Selenium jar file. We have some packages, selenium.grid, inside the Selenium itself. The grid used to run your automation test cases on multiple browsers, either one after another, one by one, first on Chrome, run the same test cases first on Chrome, run the same test cases next on Firefox, next on Safari. Like this you can control. Or simultaneously you can able to run the test cases. There are 2 options available, one by one, parallelly, simultaneously. Finally, Selenium grid used to run your automation script on various browsers either one after another, sequentially or simultaneously, parallelly. How to do this, we'll learn. Take the description. Selenium grid, Selenium grid, Selenium grid used to run automation script, used to run automation scripts, used to run automation scripts on different browsers, on different browsers, on different browsers, either sequentially, one by one, either sequentially one by one or simultaneously, parallelly. So if you want to run your test cases on various browsers, on various even operating systems also actually, either one after another or parallelly you want to run, then you can make use of the grid. There are two major components involved in the grid implementation, hub and nodes. Let me explain the Selenium grid infrastructure or environment. Coming to Selenium grid environment, majorly there are two components involved in the Selenium grid environment. Hub mission and node missions. Hub mission and node missions. Node 1, node 2, and so on, say for example, node 3. All the systems should be in the same networking environment. If you don't have a networking environment, I don't have 4 missions in the networking system, same process we can simulate in a single mission also. If we are working on a networking environment, supposing 4 computers are available under one network, I can run the test cases in different computers simultaneously. Or if I have only one mission, I don't have a networking environment, we can simulate the entire process in a single mission also, in the same mission also. Here one system I'll configure to run my test case on Chrome browser. The other node I'll configure to run my test case on Firefox browser. The other mission I configure to run my test case on, say, for example, Safari browser. Coming to this hub mission, via hub you are going to run the test cases. Test case N. Hub mission distribute the test cases. It is short to all the node missions. Test case 1 supplied to node 1. Test case 1 supplied to node 2. Test case 1 will be supplied to node 3. In the first node, test case running on the Chrome browser. In the second node, test case running on the Firefox browser. In the last node, the test case is running on the Safari browser. Then immediately it will supply the test case 2 to all of the nodes connected. In the first computer, the second test case running on the Chrome. Here the second test case running on Firefox. Here the second test case running on the Safari. This is a concept. To run test cases simultaneously on different browsers, either in a networking environment or in a single mission, there is a ready component available in the Selenium called grid. Note on this diagram. Actually, we have to create this infrastructure. Through code in the command prompt, we need to configure this environment. We'll see how to create this environment. Note on this diagram. Right. What is a hub and what is a node? Take some short description about that. Take it hub. Hub. It is a centralized server. It is a centralized server which is used to distribute test cases, which is used to distribute test cases, which is used to distribute test cases to various nodes, to run test cases, which is used to distribute test cases to various node missions to run the test cases. Node. What is a node? Take it node. Node. It is a client mission. It is a client mission. It is a client mission
Which
where
mission,
you
sir?
configure.
Sir,
It is a
explain.
node which is a client mission. It is a client mission where you configure on which browser you want to run test cases. On which browser you want to run test cases. Hub is a centralized mission. Through hub mission, we distribute the test cases to various clients for execution. Here, node is a client mission where you configure your QA environment, mean on which browser you want to run the test cases this time. So here we have to learn how to configure a hub mission and how to configure a node mission. Here, the first step, configuring a hub mission. Second step, configuring a node mission. These are the two major steps involved in creating the grid infrastructure first. After setting up this infrastructure, after setting up the grid infrastructure, then we have to pump the test cases to the grid environment. We'll see. Make a note. Setting up grid environment. Setting up grid environment. How to set up the grid environment? Step one, configure hub mission. Step one, configure hub mission. How to configure a hub mission? Check out this. First understand, then you can take the notes. The very first step, configuring a hub mission, creating this hub mission. How to make this hub mission? See, I want to make my mission, this mission, as a hub mission. Before that, first, while creating or while configuring hub and nodes, I need the Selenium jar file location. In the command prompt, you have to give the path of the Selenium, everything from the command prompt. Also, I need the geckodiver.exe file path, chromediver.exe file path if I want to run my test cases simultaneously on both Firefox and Chrome. Here to demonstrate this, I just one second. I created a folder with the name gridwork. Sir, folder name can be anything. Okay. The Selenium jar file, Selenium jar file, chromediver.exe file, what's happening? A geckodiver.exe file, all I copied into the required location. In the folder gridwork, I have the required resources. Now I'm explaining you the first step. What is the first step here? Configuring the hub mission, creating a hub mission. First you go to command prompt. First we have to go to the command prompt. Then we have to type some command here. Command is java space -jar. If you want to run any Java archive file, if you want to run any jar file from the command prompt, the command is java-jar. You have to specify the Selenium jar file path. You have to specify the Selenium jar file location. The command is execute Selenium Java-jar used to run any jar file. Execute the Selenium from the command prompt with a role, -role, hub. This is a command we have to issue. This is a command we have to type in the command prompt to make your computer as a hub mission. Maybe here or when you are practicing also, you have an independent system, not a networking environment. I'm explaining in the same mission how to use the Selenium grid to run the test cases simultaneously. I'll go to the command prompt. Anywhere in the command prompt. Type the command java space -jar. Specify the location where Selenium jar file is available. Selenium jar file path. In my system, just now I created a folder called gridwork. Here I have the Selenium. I given the location where the Selenium jar file present in my system. Run Selenium with a role. What is the role name? Hub. Press enter. Somewhere I made a mistake, I'll check. Java-jar. This is a problem with the higher versions. Command is correct. Just a moment. And 1 KB. The command what I have typed is correct. I think maybe the very latest version what I am using is not supporting it. This is what we studied in the blogs also. The latest version has many issues. Generally, we never go with a very higher version. It is a fully stable version actually. All I have to associate. So this one I have to download. Selenium server standalone jar file. I downloaded a jar file now. This jar file is a stable version, fully stable version. This I am putting in this my grid work. This I do not require, I delete it. See, same command I am typing this time. Java-jar selenium jar file path -role hub. Please observe, I was not change any command. The problem is with the higher version. Here we have received a message. The grid hub is up and running. If you want to view this grid hub, (192.168.1.11) is the system IP address, my system IP address. Hub console. As of now, it is empty. 192.168.1.11 is my system IP address. See, once this command was executed, here you get Selenium grid hub is up and running. Nodes can register to this URL. How to connect the node to the hub, I will explain. This 192.168.1.11 is my system IP address. In any system, if you want to know what is the IP address of your machine, you can type a command called ipconfig. It is my system IP address. :4444 is the port number where hub server services will be running. In one computer, you can run multiple server services. By default, hub server services will be running on a port number called 4444. Grid, up to this I copy. Here we see a link called console link. As of now, no node is connected to the hub machine. It is empty. Once I register the nodes will be displayed here. So go to command prompt, then type java-jar, the selenium jar file location, -role hub. You receive a message. If command is correctly given, you receive a message. Selenium grid hub is up and running, ready to use. These are nodes you have to connect to the hub machine using this URL. You have to run the test cases from the Selenium using this URL we'll discuss. Once the hub machine is created, if you want to view the grid console, to view grid hub console, type the following URL in any browser. What is the URL? http:// it is my system IP address. Your system IP address will be different. The hub server IP address, your system IP address, :4444. It's a common in any system. Generally, in one system, you can install multiple servers. If I install SQL Server in a computer, any computer, if you install SQL Server will be installed in a port number called 1433. If you install SQL Server software in any computer system, SQL Server services will be running on a TCP port number called 1433. If I install MySQL Server in a machine, this will run in a port number called 3306. Grid hub will run in a port number called 4444. What's happening? 4444. So your system IP address colon 4444 grid / console to view the grid console. This is the first step. The second step here, configuring node mission. Configuring node mission to run test cases on various browsers. So for example, here I want to run on Chrome and also on the Firefox. How to configure a node mission to run the test case on different browsers? It's a lengthy command actually. Again, first you need to go to your command prompt. Then you need to type a command java-d webdriver.chrome.driver. You are not going to specify the system.set property hereafter in the Java if I go here like this. Java-d, here -d meaning desired capabilities. The next class I'll explain this in detail. Chrome.driver equal to, you have to specify the Chrome driver exe file path. You have to mention the Chrome driver exe file path. -d webdriver.gecko.driver equal to, you have to specify the gecko driver exe file path. But I'll take in the next line for your understanding, okay? -jar, you have to provide the Selenium jar file location. Selenium jar file path. -hub. Once you created a hub mission, it is clearly given nodes can register using this URL, hub URL it is. I copied it. -hub, hub URL, hub registration URL. In place of this is my system IP address, your system hub server, IP address remaining is same. -port. The 4444 port number already hub services are running. To run the node services, I can use some other port number, any other unique port number. Any other port number you can use. Something like this. So this is how you have to make a node mission. I open one more command prompt. Java-d webdriver.chrome.driver equal to, you have to specify the Chrome driver location. I just now copied Chrome driver.exe into this location. -d webdriver.gecko.driver equal to, specify the gecko driver exe file location wherever it is available in your mission. -role, -jar, you have to specify the Selenium jar file path. You have to give the Selenium jar file path. -role, I given role here here previously. Sorry, here I have to give hyphen role WebDriver. Run the Selenium this time with a role as WebDriver. WebDriver nothing but the client, not hub. Hyphen role WebDriver hyphen hub registration URL. It's already given here. Hyphen port, some port number I am giving. When I run this command, we receive a message. The node is registered to the hub and ready to use. I go to the grid console, just I refresh it. Firefox node and Chrome node is connected to the hub mission now. In my system, default browser available IE, it is showing just one instance of the IE. 5 times you can able to run your suite without creating again hub and node on both Chrome and Firefox. In the command, if I want to go with even Edge or Safari or whatever, same concept. Here again I have to do -d webdriver.safari.driver -d webdriver.edge.driver. Any number of browsers you can configure. Tomorrow I'll explain this once again. Then we implement the Selenium grid tomorrow completely. Okay? So just I repeat this topic because remembering such comments will be a little difficult. I'll repeat this and tomorrow we'll go with the complete implementation of a grid. I'll create a hub mission again. I'll create a node mission. Then we implement the code to run the test cases simultaneously on various browsers tomorrow session. Okay? Thank you.
Sir, excuse me.